Hey, I'm Lisa Coffey, Chief Revenue Officer at LoopMe, and today we are here at Sports Beach, and my guest here, Joshua Lowcock.
Hey Lisa, great to be here. I'm Joshua Lowcock, President of Media at Quad.
Thanks for joining us, Joshua. We are excited to be here this week in Cannes. Cannes is, really the pinnacle of the advertising industry for certainly creative, but how brands really best reach customers, reach new customers, clients, and not just about creative, but also how they take their brand out into the world. And Joshua, you and I have had some conversations about just overall fragmentation of media these days. We all know that mobile phones have really become a significant, almost first screen in the household. Brands really used to focus their kind of branding consideration using the big screen, and now that has really been disrupted. There's a ton of fragmentation in media. What's one of the ways or trends that you're addressing with that with your clients?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think the thing that we think a lot about on the fragmentation of media, especially when you start thinking about the mobile phone, is that the mobile phone is fragmented itself. So people talk about like large screens being fragmented with Netflix and Roku and Hulu and all sorts of other streaming devices. But if you think about your mobile phone, it's not just TikTok and Snap and Facebook that dominate it anymore. There's mobile games, there's all these other apps that really weigh in and intercept people's attention and the way that they consume media.
And it's interesting when you talk about, let's say a Netflix, which as you know, is still a big brand screen, but also has been distilled down into mobile. And players like Amazon as well, they even are thinking about how to capture audiences outside of just their content. What are some of the trends that you're seeing there?
I mean, the big trend that we're seeing is the importance of mobile gaming as a platform. And the reason for that is it's consuming an inordinate amount of consumer time. And the thing that is very appealing to us, it's one of the other things that most people aren't paying attention to. So focusing in on mobile gaming as a channel is a way for us to differentiate ourselves for clients and also get consumers' attention and drive the business results clients need.
From a media perspective, or even a media buying perspective, how are you tapping into mobile gaming in a unique way?
On the mobile gaming front, across our CPG and retail clients, we think a lot about people's passions and about intercepting people in moments where they're caring about their passions. And so mobile gaming is one of those environments where one of the things we say is killing time is the killer application. So people have got a bit of downtime, they go in and start playing a mobile game, they're in the midpoint of a journey of doing something else, and that's when we can go in for our retail clients with a very compelling item and price offer, or for our CPG clients a really great brand message, get people's attention, get that in that moment of passion and intensity, and actually get that brand performance that we need.
Joshua, what's been your clients' response to mobile gaming? How are they warming to it? Is it picking up momentum? How are they, doing some creative executions? What's their overall feedback and response?
The interesting thing that we've found is the more we talk to clients about it, the more they're actually very intrigued and enthusiastic for it, because there's a separate trend in the industry, which is clients are trying to drive acquisition and usage in their own mobile app. And so they've already got people who have downloaded their app, but actually how do you drive in-app behavior? How do you get people to go to the app to search or see the latest offers or add to cart? They want to drive that frequency of intensity and usage of their own mobile app. And so we've had a lot of great success using mobile app marketing and mobile game marketing to drive basically a click into another mobile app to drive in-app transactional behavior.
The engagement. So creative, being a Cannes, have there been any major learnings on creative for in-app or better results that you're seeing with a certain type of execution versus another, or is it still early?
I mean, there's a couple of things that stand out for us. The first one is being similar to all media channels really, being thoughtful and respectful of the mobile gaming environment and the right in-app experience. So it's not just sticking like a 15-second video in a mobile app just because you think it's going to work. Understanding the games or the games that you're going to be in, making sure the creative works for that. The other thing that we've had a lot of success with is, I'll say, optimizing the call to actions. It's very easy to sort of do what I would call mobile app download, sort of like see it in the app or find it in the app. We're doing deep hooks into apps, and that requires a lot of level of API sophistication on a client. So it's not just click and launch the app. You want to click, launch the app, and it goes into, say, a specific page within the app so that you can actually then, as a user, complete a transaction or an action from that point. I don't want to just do a click and launch an app.
Right, right. Yeah, and that's even important to your point of like putting the hooks in and how you go deeper, because even in this day and age of obviously privacy, Quad like LoopMe has a unique capability to find the right audiences at the right time, have that brand impact, and continue to pull them down through the funnel, to your point, like within the app experience. From a overall branding standpoint, where do you see branding dollars sitting within the mobile ecosystem?
I think there's a place for brand dollars in the mobile ecosystem. I mean, the honest conversation that we all need to have is that branding does work in mobile. It works. It has a role to play. We've got to get out of the compulsion and desperation and urgency of just seeing mobile as a performance channel. And sure, it can drive performance, but as a branding platform, some of the, and sample size of one, some of the best and best recalled creative and media I have is in brand advertising in mobile environments, because that's where I've got my headphones on, I'm listening to the audio, I'm paying attention to the screen, I'm not distracted by anything else. All the media metrics we as marketers want to drive exist in the mobile environment. And so we know it drives better brand results.
Yeah, you're completely merged.
Yeah.
It's like nobody can get in. I know. I have kids, and I know you do too. It's like you can't even interfere. You can't get their attention when they don't even have headphones in and they're on their mobile. Okay, what else? So, you all at Quad, as I said, have a unique audience offering. Tell me a little bit about that and how you're translating that into the digital world.
Yeah, so at Quad, one of the things that's very important to us is our differentiated data, which is household data. We like it because it's resilient to all the headwinds in the industry, so it can't be deprecated by a platform or a technology provider making arbitrary decisions about what they're going to turn off and eliminate from the ecosystem. In terms of connecting that to the digital world, we're doing a lot of work to connect that directly to users' opted-in and consented first-party data. And again, it gets back to that mobile conversation, and the way we're doing that is engaging to people through mobile devices. So Quad has a print manufacturing base. We're a large customer of the US Postal Service. We get stuff into people's letterboxes. We put flow codes on that. We have a unique flow code for every address. So when people scan it, we actually launch a mobile experience. So you can say that our data is built on household data, but our first-party data is built on households and mobile. Like without mobile and that personal engagement from mobile, that's what we're building our first-party data stack from.
Are you doing any clean room work with your data and other partners?
So we're looking at clean room work, and we talk to everyone in the ecosystem. The big thing for us is, yes, we work with third-party clean rooms. No, we don't sell our data out into the ecosystem.
Right. Yeah, that's where we're doing some good work together right now. Is we have a similar offering, not coming from physical addresses, but the household graph, and then ultimately looking at maids and finding these net new, unique audiences in real time. And it's been a great complement to our efforts in the market together.
Yeah.
The overall, Google's kicked the can down the lane again, but I think brands overall are just ready to move forward regardless. Are you seeing that with your clients as far as, regardless of what Google's going to do, they still want to continue doubling down and working on, those audience?
Yeah, if you look at, Google kicking the can down the road again, which is mainly driven by regulatory pressure rather than Google giving us all, a stay of execution. Across our marketer base, all our clients have committed to the change. Like, they know it's coming, they've accepted it, we're moved on. Like, I can't think of any client right now that is relying on third-party cookies as a primary method of their marketing strategy anymore, because they just know it's not going to be sustainable long term. So if they haven't completely moved off, they've 85% moved off.
Yeah. I think the biggest trends we're hearing here at Cannes are audiences and branding in the form of overall consideration. The brands are no longer saying, okay, we just have to look at top of the funnel. It's really, they want to understand branding as far as consideration. So it's almost like, how do you pull it right down through the middle of the funnel and then continue going? From a branding standpoint, what are you hearing at Cannes, and what are your clients talking about?
What I'm hearing and what our clients are talking about is they want to balance brand and performance more and more. And the thing that we talk about to our clients is accountability.
Yeah.
The days of not holding media accountable, regardless of whether it's brand or performance, are done. And so it's how do we actually bridge that gap between brand and performance to hold media accountable for results, and how is brand driving performance, and how is performance impacting brand? Those are the things that we're trying to solve for.
Yeah, and that's LoopMe's sweet spot as far as performance for brand advertising and being able to measure it, and the attribution and the true closed loop of finding a net new customer and pulling them all the way down.
That's why we like to work with you, and that's the value of it, especially for our retail and CPG clients. That's the real value.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny to think about the days where, linear TV, and that was kind of unmeasurable for a CMO, and they didn't even have to think about it, and now every aspect of marketing is measurable.
Yeah, well, it has to be measurable. Getting back to the start of the conversation, when you think about fragmentation, you're making decisions about hundreds of thousands of media channels, you have to hold it accountable for an outcome, because otherwise you're just scattergunning money everywhere.
Yeah. Every dollar has to count.
Amen.
All right, Joshua, thank you very much for joining us here. It's been a great Cannes, and we look forward to continuing our partnership with Quad and Rise and doing good things together.
Thank you, Lisa. Really enjoyed the time.